If you are a young millennial new buyer and you are ready to fight and turn California into something that she used to be and she can be again, go for it. She is worth fighting for. I might get emotional. I'm not going to do that here on the video. Don't panic, don't panic. Just because I am no longer living in Bakersfield doesn't mean you shouldn't. And I'll explain all of that in just a minute, because let me tell you, I wish I could just pick Bakersfield up and move it with me over here to South Carolina, but can't do that, not just yet anyway. But if you are watching this and you are thinking about moving to Bakersfield, I want you to know what to expect going forward on this channel when you reach out to us. So let's walk through it. Stay tuned. So here we are. Yes, it is time to say peace out, Bakersfield. Sadly, leaving Bakersfield is the collateral damage that comes from leaving the state of California. And that is exactly what my family and I have done. Okay, so how did we get here? You know that I am your local Bakersfield Realtor here on YouTube. What I want you to keep in mind is you're gonna reach out, you're still gonna get a hold of me. I am then going to hand you off lovingly to one of my colleagues. Are you gonna buy investment property? Are you gonna buy an apartment complex? Are you just buying 123 Main Street for you and your family? All of it is great. All of it needs to happen if you're ready to do it. That's gonna depend on who I put you with. So you do still need to reach out to me. So a call, a text, an email. We'll get that process started, and then I can make sure that you get put with the right agent. They've all been working with me behind the scenes anyway, but now it's a little bit more front facing that you guys know you're probably not gonna be working with me because I'm in South Carolina. I'll explain that in just a hot second. But now you're gonna be reaching out to me. I'm still gonna be answering your emails and your calls and your texts. And then I'm gonna be, okay, so here's what you need. Okay, let me put you with, this colleague of mine or that colleague of mine. And then they will walk you through the transaction. They're all top notch. They all know what the heck they're doing inside out and backwards, just like I do. Okay, so how did we get here? Well, you guys know I am a native, and I believe I've shared more than one time that this past year we have graduated our oldest. She graduated top honors valedictorian from her school, praise the Lord. And our son, who is still in high school, was, much more amiable to a move across country. By the way, if you're still in Bakersfield, she's still in town, so give her a holler if you see her. But it was time. It was time for us to make that move because we were just in a position of our life where we started to see the writing on the wall. We're at a different phase of life than maybe those of you that are watching. We are Gen Xers. We are in the middle part of our life. We're in our early 50s. And so if we were going to make that move, we needed to do it sooner rather than later. You guys know I have been very, very vocal on this channel more than one time about my distrust and my desires for a new leadership in our capital. I have worked the recall. I worked that recall like a son of a gun. I was one cog in a very large wheel, and that did not go through. So when that did not go through, my husband and I started to say, okay, well, we might need to make some further arrangements going forward. So we decided to go on vacation. It was the lockdown, so we couldn't get out of California fast enough. So we went to Florida and Georgia and South Carolina and Idaho. We went on vacation to explore, and we kept coming back to South Carolina. And so that is kind of how we ended up here. We are in a Charleston suburb. So we're about 25 miles from Charleston in a northwest suburb called Summerville. It is lovely here. We're less than an hour from very warm water beaches. We would love to help you. Both my husband and I are now licensed realtors here in South Carolina. So we look forward to doing something similar on another channel. I'll invite you to that in just a minute. Leaving Bakersfield, as I said, is the collateral damage of having to leave California, because Bakersfield has been an incredible community. I'm always talking to you about that on this channel. It is a 6 degrees of separation for sure, but it's also, and if you know, you know, because the longer you live there, the more you get the vibe, the more you understand. And honestly, it's a very hard thing to leave. Like, we really struggled with okay, we've got to find new community. We've got to find new friends. We've got to find a new church. We got to find new habits. We got to find, so leaving Bakersfield is not an easy decision. So if you're thinking about moving there, believe me, you're going to be welcomed with open arms. Over the years, my family, we found Jesus in Bakersfield. We started 2 or 3 small businesses. This one being one of them. This was just a random idea because I was new in real estate back in 2018 and 2019. And I was like, let me start showing my neighborhood, because I did what a lot of you guys do. I jump onto Google and I do a search and I'm like, what the heck? So I said, no, that's not who I hang out with. That's not my life. Let me go show what I do and who the people I know and the areas that I hang out with. And lo and behold, this lovely channel has been born, has been an incredible source for me to reach out and meet so many of you and become friends with so many of you and have just incredible experiences walking you through the buying or the selling process. It's been an amazing opportunity that I will absolutely cherish for the rest of my life. And it all came from this beautiful platform. So I absolutely love this Living in Bakersfield channel. It is not up for sale. We did have a couple of whispers, but they went the way of the dodo, and I'm not sad about it. And I absolutely love that you guys are watching this channel, trying to find a way to buy real estate in the state of California, stay in California. And by the way, if you are going to stay and make that place your home, absolutely fight for her. She is worth fighting for. I might get emotional. I'm not going to do that here on the video. Like I said, my family and I are in a different season of life. If you are a young millennial new buyer and you are ready to fight and turn California into something that she used to be and she can be again, go for it. Keep your eyes on the governorship. Keep your eyes on your local government, inner workings, your city council, your mayor, your, director of whoever and whatever. No matter where you're watching this from, I think all of us have learned over the years that that is something that we cannot take our eyes off. Hey, even though I'm living here in South Carolina, I am doing the exact same thing, whether it's a red or a blue state, or it's run by a red, or it's run by, it doesn't matter. We got to have our eyes on them. And that is my advice to you. If you are staying in California, stay and fight. I do not know if she will be turned around back into her glory days of what she was back in the day in my lifetime. It might be yours. It might be our kids. Who knows? I do think it's possible though. So that is my advice to you. If you're going to stay in California, stay and fight. And for those of you that want to come after me in the comments, trick or treat, I'm ready for you. Because they do. Oh, you're going to tell us what to do, but you laugh. Piss on you. I highly invite you to watch our next channel. It's called GenXers in the LowCountry. South Carolina, Georgia, North Florida is all called the LowCountry. A little bit more for the season of life that we're in, kind of setting things up for the next generation. We're kind of in this little squeeze generation of our family, our parents and grandparents passing on, and we've got to make decisions for our kids. So it's a little bit of a different spin, but it's still us. We're still having a good time. We're doing a little bit of retro fun stuff, and then we're also showing you how beautiful South Carolina and this whole LowCountry area is. It's amazing. So if you want to follow us over there, I highly, highly recommend it. I normally end these videos with I'll see you around town. I'm not really around town anymore, but what I will say is if you're thinking about moving to Bakersfield and buying some really beautiful real estate in that community, I am your girl. You can still reach out to me and I will lovingly hand you off to one of my colleagues that will take great care of you. I will see you on the other channel. Thanks so much for being here. Mwah.